All right. It is another time for a Grimdark Future Bat Rep. So I'm bringing my Night Brothers again against the Human Defense Force. So it's 2,000 points, 5 objectives. This is part of the Austin Alternative Gaming Freaks campaign. So we are running some fun lists. So both of us have lists that don't validate according to competitive rules. He's got a super tank, and I've got um, a really big Night Brothers Destroyer squad. So just keep that in mind. We're also playing some fun lists and using the models on hand that we want to use. All right, so my list, I am running again my Night Brothers. The leader, Magnus, the Oconus, Andronicus. Equipped the same Energy Fist. He's got War Chant, which is great. I'm going to remember that this game. He's in Destroyer Armor. I've got him with a Combat Shield, with Shield Wall, and I've given him the Purifier Impact, which I did forget. So I'm going to remember his rules one day. But anyway, so I've got my 3 units of conscripts that I'm running as pilgrims, the Peregrini Beatrices, Peregrini Junia, and the Peregrini Febe. We then have the Inia Purgante that we're running again. These are 3 flamers. Divinia Procusio, 6 side cannons. I've given them the psychic upgrade. Obstinato Maleo. This is the 6-man squad of destroyers. I have them with a psychic upgrade, 3 hammers, 3 swords, 2 side cannons with regen. So that's my spells below. So it did me pretty well the last game. We'll see how it does against some human defense forces. This is a spicy list. So a company commander, he's got take aim and heavy armor. 2 infantry squads. They're armed pretty light with a heavy machine gun, just for some long range fire. We got a veteran squad with some plasma rifles, 4 of them, so pretty heavy hit, hard hitting there. Ogre squad, they've got the batons and combat shields, so they're just hand to hand. A light walker with a heavy flamethrower, and here it is, the big one, the super heavy tank. This thing is 1,075 points. It's got 30 wounds. 3 twin heavy machine guns, 1 siege mortar, 1 hell cannon, 2 last cannons. That is some beef right there. So we're going to see how my Night Brothers go up against that thing. So yeah. All right, so the setup, we're running 5 objectives. So this is on my left. We've got 1 objective here. Towards the right, we have another objective towards the center. This isn't before we set up. I just took that picture. So 1 over here, so 1 here, 1 in that building, and then 1 over here, and then he's got 1 on his side as well. So we've got 1 here towards the center on the right, 1 in this building towards the left, 1 on his 1 in my side, so it's right outside of this building here, close to my side. We've got 1 on the purple watchtower. This is on his side. And we've got another one on kind of towards the center, but close to his side in this orange. So on the setups, you see I have a 10-man squad of my pilgrims. I then have my 20-man squad, and I've got my 3 flamers. We're doing this after a scout move, so he's scouted up his walker. He gets to go first. So he's go ahead and scouted that walker up. So this is the other objective right here, and so I have my other 6-man purgation squad here, kind of towards the center. So this is an objective right here in this orange building, and then they have another one in this gray. I have a 10-man squad here that I'm going to be basically moving into cover and grabbing this objective. This is the one on the far right, and then he's got his battle tank, and he's got his veteran squad over here. So this is his regular infantry squad. This is his veteran squad. He's got his this is the infantry squad behind. They're going to run up and grab this objective. He's got his ogre squad, so this is the objective on top of this building. So we're saying just if you get within 3 inches, you get it. So we were playing fun. We decided that he didn't have to climb up on top of the building to grab the objective. So if he gets within 3 of the objective over on this side, he gets it. This is his other infantry squad. It's on the far left, and he's going to be moving forward to try to contest the objective where the White Walker is. This is just an overview of the battlefield. So you can see here, this is one objective right here, another objective, two objectives. This is another objective back here, another objective back here, and then there's one here. So there's actually a lot of objectives right in this little corner here. All right, so turn one. So he goes first. He walks up his light walker and he flames my pilgrims, kills 6 of them. I in turn just move my pilgrims. I get within 3 of the objective to claim it. He rushes his infantry squad around in cover and he grabs that objective. My flamers move up and they've got relentless. They got 18 shots. They blow up. That it's only got tough 6 and I roll pretty good. I get relentless on them. So I kill his light walker. He in turn, this is his big turn. He, you know, the whole combo is he was going to use this to take aim, but he also saw that maybe I could have got my squads out of range. So he went ahead and just went early. He moved up his tank. He shot me. So he killed 2 of the flamers. He killed another 6 of these infantrymen. So he pins them. And he shoots at my purgations behind the building with his indirect fire weapon. But because he moved, he needs 5s and he misses there. But still, this thing is already doing damage. So for me, I move up my purgations and I just basically shoot that infantry squad and blow them to smithereens. So that's 12 shots hitting on blast with relentless. So I mean, they could put out like 30 wounds. So yeah, I shoot and blow that squad to Kingdom Come. He moves up his ogres to claim this objective right here, so that's his. I also just move up my pilgrims. I put 1, and I basically grab this objective. He moves up his veteran squad. He can only get 1 in range to shoot, and he misses my. He shoots and he misses my my pilgrims on bottom. I then just rush forward my pilgrims, and I get within 3 of this objective. So now I have that objective. So I have 2 objectives. I've got the one in this building, and I've got this one. So turn 2. He goes for. The other thing he did, I forgot to show here, is that the last activation he did, he moves up his infantry squad. They actually shoot at these pilgrims, but they miss. But his infantry squad is on the top right, and so that's the last activation. So I will activate first on turn 2. So in turn 2, yeah, I bring in. I went back and forth. Initially, I thought my strategy could be that I could just avoid that tank and just kill everything else. But the problem is that tank, it's fast, so it can get where it needs to get, and it can just. I think it could just out firepower and just shoot anything. So I think if I give that tank 4 turns of unimpeded shooting, he's going to kill my army. So I just decide. I go ahead and just decide I'm just going to bring the 6-man squad in, and we're going to combo charge. We're going to put my swords into his veteran squad with his leader, and then we're going to put my hammers into his tank. The plan is that I'm going to basically win combat and have both of these guys fail their morales, either killing them or at least pinning them. You know, this tank only has a quality 4, so there's a 50% chance that I can, yeah. So here I just charge. I put my 3 hammers into the tank, the 3 and the leader. So this is the leader, and the 3 hammers are going into the tank. The 3 swords are going to the veteran squad. And yeah, my hammers. If I needed them to roll good, I needed it now. So I rolled, and I hit 5 out of 6 times. But more importantly, I got 3 6s. So that's an additional 6 hits with the war chant, right? So that war chant gives me 2. So I get an additional 6 hits on this guy, and I end up doing I ended up doing 20 wounds on this tank. Now I was trying to get my knights do have the psychic power, and I did try to give the tank and the veteran squad -1 defense, but it fails. But I still do 20 wounds on that tank, and then my swords, they kill 8 of the infantrymen. They try to strike back, but they don't win. So, big deal. It's a really big deal. So, I get both of these units below 50%, but both of them pass their morale tests. And that tank is still there, good to go. So, I bounce, and these 2 squads actually both pass their morales on 4-ups. So, well, the good thing is I have this tank below 50%. So every time I cause a wound to this thing, I'm going to force it to roll a morale test. And if I can get 1-4 up, I'm going to pin this thing. So the tank turns around and shoots my destroyers. So shoots them, does a lot of wounds, and then also he puts one more gun into my... So he primarily focuses on the destroyers. He kills half of them, and then he has... I forgot what gun he shoots, but he puts one of his guns into my purgations and kills 2 of them. That's just the pin marker from last turn. So yeah, so in turn I move up my purgations and I shoot him. I do 2 wounds on this tank. So again, these guys have blasts, so I'm actually wasting the blast on this tank, but I just really need to put some wounds on this tank. So I end up getting like 7 hits, and I do 2. He fails. I think he fails 2 wounds. The main important thing, I do 2 wounds on him, and then he has another morale test, which he passes again. So at this point, he moves his infantry squad up into the building, and I'm sorry, he actually starts to move them back down, right? Because he's going to start trying to come around and get this objective on the far left. At that point, I move up my pilgrims and I actually shoot his tank. I miss, but again, all I'm trying to do is just cause 1 wound on this tank to force another morale. He actually moves up his ogres above unseen. I'll have to show that it's a little further up. We missed the things, and then I move up my. No, I'm sorry. He moves his veteran squad. They shoot and they miss my. Actually, they do 1 wound on my knights, and then they're fine. And then after that, I move up my second conscript squad, and I also shoot at his tank, trying to get that 1 wound, but don't get it. He then rushes forward his ogres. So here's the objective. So he's getting his ogres in cover so that next turn he can charge me and try to take this center objective. And the last thing I do is I move my flamer right here, just to kind of either take out the tank or take out some of these ogres. All right, turn 3. So he gets to go first. And the first thing he does is, of course, he's going to activate that tank. He's going to put most of his guns into my Terminators, and he is also going to put several of his machine guns into my Pilgrims. The idea to kill them, and then he can move up and take this objective. So he shoots primarily into my Terminators. He kills the rest of my Terminators. Only my leader is left. And then he also shoots, I think his heavy machine guns, kills 8 of these Pilgrims, and he pins them. The leader, my leader, actually passes his morale check. So on my turn, I try to get the -1 off. So I do get the -1 off on the tank and the -1 off on the ogres. And then I try to shoot the ogres, but I fail to hit them both times. So that's just me moving and then getting the -1 on the tank and then missing the ogres. He actually just charges his ogres into one of my 10-man squad, and yeah, he just murders them. So I think he kills like 8 of them, and then they fail their morale. So the ogres back up to contest the objective. My conscripts move up, and they're at that -1 defense now. So I try to shoot the tank, but I miss. I'm just trying to fish for 1 more wound to pin that tank. He then moves up his infantry squad. He's going this way, but he actually just basically starts to rush down this way towards the objective here, because he already has this objective. He was checking some measurements towards the center. So, but he's going this way. At this point, I send my leader in. So the first thing I do is I attempt to cast a quench on his tank, but I roll a 2, so the psychic spell doesn't go off. But I do get some hits, and I get a war chant off. I end up doing another 5 wounds from him. No, I think it's like 2 or 3. I do end up doing 2 or 3 wounds on this guy, and he fails his morale, and that tank is gone. So at that point, I just consolidate and I take control of this objective. So the leader, a huge deal. that I did take out that tank. Ironically enough, he moves his veteran squad up and he shoots my leader, does 1 wound, and my leader rolls a 1. This is the 1 here, and my leader gets pinned. So it's like from great victories to just odd cowardice. But yeah, my leader is wounded and then he gets pinned. So that's the pin marker on him. I unpin my pilgrims, and that's it. So turn 4. So he gets to go first again. He rushes his ogres into this objective, hoping to try and take it, get into cover, and to claim this one, and maybe shoot off my leader. He knows that my leader is pinned. At this point, I just unpin my leader, and then he shoots me again. He moves up his squad and shoots me again, does 1 more wound on him, and my leader passes with 1 wound left. So my leader is alive. That's an important thing because my leader is alive to contest this objective. He was hoping that he couldn't charge my leader. He was out of range, and so instead he just tries to claim the objective, and then but all he can do is contest. At this point, my Psy Cannon moves up, gets the -1 defense on them, and then shoots them, and he rolls great. He ends up killing 2. He rolls pretty bad saves, so he takes them below. He basically kills 6 wounds, and so these are the 2 dead ones. Just ignore the previous wounds, and they fail their morale, and they are pinned. So now neither of us own this objective. So yeah, so this objective, both of these guys are pinned. He then rushes up his infantry squad up here to contest the objective. He knows I can flame him, but at the same time, he can at least contest, if not have this objective. So the last thing of the game, I just move up my flamer and I flame. I roll good. I kill 5 of his guys, and he gets pinned. My flamer also is within 3 inches, so I claim this objective as well. Yeah, and then the last thing, I just move up my infantry squad here just to kind of fully claim the objective. And yeah, that's just how the game ended. I ended up having, so if we go back, I had 1, and I have the objective in the building. I'm sorry, I have the objective on the far right, and I have the objective in this building. So it's so yeah, that's the pilgrim. That's the other objective I got. That's the other objective. So it is a 3-1 victory to the Knight Brothers. So yeah, that super tank is really cool. Like, that thing is just so many weapons. It's so cool. So I really enjoyed playing against the super heavy. Yeah, so some learning points. I think that OPR balances their super heavy tanks pretty well. Like, the fact that all these units, that you can get them below 50% and start forcing those morale tests is pretty cool. Yeah, I would say, you know, especially once you get to 2000, you really have to start putting in some deadly in your army so you can take out some of these multi-wound figures. I would say that I probably should have hid more early. You know, on turn 1, I did give him some free shots. I probably should have just really been diligent about hiding my units. So, because he did kind of get a freebie shot on me on turn 1. But you know, the pilgrims again really did great for their points. They kept those objectives, and they also stuck around too. You know, so yeah, I do wish I could run more Grey Knights though. But yeah, it's my second win with Grey Knights. So yeah. So anyway, I had fun. So thanks for watching. You can always play against me on Universal Battles too. I always enjoy feedback. Like, subscribe, and comment. And if you're in Austin, you know, always come and join us, the Austin Alternative Gaming Freaks. So thank you very much.